Hi, this is Mrs. Bolin with your notes for section 3.1, Writing and Graphing Inequalities. So first of all, we're going to start with the warm-up. We're just going to complete this as a little review, greater than or less than, and I like to think of it as the alligator eating whatever is more. So maybe you guys learned it that same way in middle school or elementary when you first learned this concept. But again, just a quick review here. The alligator always eats the bigger number, so that's the way our sign goes, and this is red. 6 is greater than 5. 3 is bigger, so that's the one the alligator is going to be eating. This one's a little bit tricky, you guys. Think about a number line, okay? Even though 7 is a bigger number, -7 would actually be a smaller number. It's farther away from 0 to the left. So this one is actually more. Would you rather owe someone $4 or would you rather owe them 7? So we don't want debt. So the smaller the debt, the better it is. And then same thing over here for number 4. -5 is actually a higher value than -8. Okay, so hopefully you guys had those all right. If not, just fix it on your papers. We are going to go on down through the notes. And so if you think about what we've been doing everything before, this is we've been solving equations, okay, when things are equal, okay? Well, if they're not equal, we call them inequalities. And if they're not equal, we have two options. Either one thing is greater than it or the other, or it is less than, okay? So you might have seen these and have read this as is less than, is more than, or greater than. This might be a new symbol for you. Maybe you guys have seen this before, but when we put half of an equal sign down there, what we read this as is less than or equal to. This one would be greater than or equal to. And here's where it starts to get a little bit hairy, a little bit confusing, is even though this is a less than or equal to sign, we could say it also means is no more than. So like if I say you can be no more than 12 years old to order off the kid menu, that means that you have to be less than or equal to 12 years old. Even though it has this word more, it has the negative, like no more than, or this one at most is actually a less than or equal to sign also, right? You could be at most 12 years old to order off of the kid menu. So you have to be less than or equal to 12. So some of those things are kind of counterintuitive, but we've listed them here in your notes so that you can refer back to that if you ever get confused. Anytime we have just a regular alligator with no equal sign, we're always going to graph that as an open circle like that, okay? Because it means that it can go all the way up to that point, but not including it. Like if I said, if you're less than 18 years old, you can't vote in the election. Well, what if you're 18? Yes, you could. But if you're less than all the way up till 18, even if your birthday's the next day, you cannot vote, right? All the way up to 18, but not including. So that's what the open circle is used for. Closed circle means we also include that value, right? So if you're 12 or younger, if you're still 12, you can still order off of the kids menu, right? And in some restaurants, sometimes it's 10 or other things like that. So anytime it has the equal to underneath, you use a closed circle when you're graphing. Okay, so the solution of an inequality is a value that makes the inequality true. So if you're ever trying to check a solution, plug it in, see if it's true. Okay, so here's our practice problems. Write each sentence as an inequality. So we're just going to go through a number W. I know you're like, Mrs. Bolin, that's not a number, that's a letter. Okay, well, this letter represents a number, which we don't know what it is. A number, W, minus 3.5 is less than or equal to -2. All right, that's all you had to do. We're just writing it. You don't even have to solve it. Like best day ever, right? Okay, so now we're going to put this one. -7/10 is at least. It's at least something. That means that it's the very least it could be is that other number, but really it's going to be more than it, more likely, right? So if this is at least something, then that means it's greater than or equal to. And if you forgot, you can always go back up here. At least, greater than or equal to, a number K minus 4. All right, that's it so far. Okay, so now we're going to go on to a new type of problem that you guys have to determine, is a value a solution of the inequality? So this looks like a big hot mess, right? So what I want you guys to look at here is this is the inequality we're looking at. And then this is just the value that we're going to check and plug in for x. Okay, so try to separate that there a little bit. So I'm going to, instead of writing an x, I'm going to plug in -4. So -4 plus 8 is smaller than -3. So I'm going to add those up. Remember, when my signs are opposite, they subtract from each other. So I get 4 is smaller than -3. Is that true? Is 4 less than -3? No, that's false. So this was no, it is not a solution. Okay, so you could write not a solution, but no, the answer is no, it's not a solution. Okay, now let's try it with the next one. So again, here's my inequality, where as soon as I get to the semicolon, a semicolon isn't a thing that we have in equations. It's just trying to say, here's the end of the equation. Now here's some more information that's connected to it, but slightly separate. Okay, and so here's the 1, and the 1 is going to go in for n. Remember, anytime there's a number stuck to a letter, it means times. Okay, so I'm going to write 9. I'm going to copy the greater than or equal to 3 times 1 plus 6. So 9 greater than or equal to 3 times 1 is 3. 9 is greater than or equal to 9. Is that true? Is 9 equal to 9? Yeah. So yes, that is true. So we would write, yes, it is a solution. Okay, question number 5, all we're doing is graphing. So and your teacher might tell you slightly different. What I have my students do is always start with 0 in the middle, and we're going to go -1, -2, -3. I just want to make sure that I'm on the correct side of 0. And then this is the point that we graph. So I'm going to start by putting a circle at -3, excuse me, and then I check to see, is it equal to or not? If it can be equal to 3, I can color that circle in, okay? And then this is y is less than a -3. So you need to think, what are all the values that are smaller than -3? Well, they would be to the left. Okay, and I'm about to show you a secret shortcut here. Maybe you already know this. But we can always take, as long as the letter is first, you have to make sure that, we can take this and make it into an arrow, and that tells us the direction to go. Super fun, right? Okay, question number 6. So remember, that's not going to work on this one. You could either do the opposite. If you wanted to, you could write the x first and then the 2. Just make sure right now the alligator is eating the x. So if I rearrange it, I have to make sure the alligator is still eating the x. And then that will work as long as the letters are always first. Okay, so again, I'm going to set up my line here. So I'm going to put 0 in the middle. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. Whatever this number is, that's where I'm going to put a circle. Okay. If it could be equal to it, I color it in. Am I going to color it in? No, there's no equal to. And then the way we read this is x is greater than 2. The alligator's eating x, meaning it's bigger than 2. So we want to go in the direction of all the numbers that are bigger than 2. This line here represents all of the values that I could plug in for x that will make it true. Whenever we solve an equation, one answer, right? Or infinitely many or no solutions or whatever. But we get one answer usually. In an inequality, there is an infinite number of answers. Any number that's bigger than 2 is an answer. Okay, so we show that on a graph because sometimes a visual representation is more meaningful than writing an inequality. So there's a couple different ways to represent that answer. So that's it. Again, you could use that same secret shortcut by doing this, and that would tell you what direction it goes. That only works because the x is first. Okay, so here's your odd solutions to the homework assignment. So we're on page 40. Start with number 1. Write each sentence as an inequality. So this says a number n plus 7 is less than or equal to 9. Done. That's all you had to do. We're going to skip the odd problems, and we're going to keep working on, we're skipping the evens. We're going to keep working on the odds. Man, you guys, I miss teaching in the classroom. Okay, question number 3. 3 is less than the sum. Remember, sum just means add. So what things am I adding? I'm adding a number S and I'm adding 4. That's it. I'll put a box around this one too. Those are our answers. We're going to skip number 4. I want you guys to try that one on your own. Question number 5. This says, tell whether the value is a solution. Remember, here is our inequality. Here is the value we're plugging in for y. And you can kind of ignore that semicolon there. So we have 17 is greater than or equal to 2y, but instead of writing y, I'm going to write a 7. Remember, a number stuck to a letter means times. So I'm going to say 17 is bigger than or equal to 14. Is the alligator eating what's bigger? Yes. So yes, that's true. So yes, it is a solution. We're going to skip number 6. Same type of thing. You're just going to put a 2 where the z is, and this is just a division problem. 4 divided by 2. 2. You guys can do that. Is 2 bigger than 3? Write out your work. Okay. Question number 7 says graph the inequality. So if you want to write the letter first, you absolutely can. Just make sure the alligator is still eating the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to start with here's 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. I'm going to put here's the number that I put a circle on. Is it equal to? No, so I can't color it in. So it stays open circle. And then the arrow tells me go to the right. Or you could also say W is greater than. So what are all the numbers that are greater than -2? Well, 1, 2, 3. Those are all bigger. So I want to go that direction. Okay, we're going to skip number 8, same type. Question number 9, write inequality. So I know this is going to be in there, right? -2. I'm going to choose to have the letter X. I know that because this is colored in, it's going to be an equal to. And then you can just copy this arrow right here. Okay. You can also say these are all the values that are bigger than -2. So I want the alligator to be eating the X because those are all the values that are bigger than -2. That is it. Good luck. Make sure you get that entered into Canvas, and I'll see you for the next one.